everyone, and welcome to Just Josh Draws. I am Just Josh, and I hope you'll join me as I reimagine a whimsical tale full of fairies and pirates and one particular magical boy who refused to grow up. Today's legend retold is Peter Pan. Our retelling begins with Captain Hook. In the original source material, Captain Hook is actually a very, very feared villain. He actually is the right-hand man of Blackbeard, and he's feared by pirates like Long John Silver and all of the other very popular ones at the time. In my version of Captain Hook's story, I decided I wanted him to be pursuing an unending legacy. He wanted to have an iron grip over the future of the pirate world, and as he started to get older, he felt like that was slipping, so he decided to pursue the legends of a boy who would never get older. And he figured that if he made it to the island of Neverland, he could find the secret for himself and basically cement his name in legend as a pirate that never died. But what Hook didn't count on was that Peter Pan may look like a boy, but he's lived longer than any pirate alive, and his experience on the battlefield is proof of this, and that's why Hook lost his hand in his first attempt to retrieve immortality. I wanted to take cues from the original stories as far as his kind of more flamboyant outfits and colors, but I also wanted to essentially give him a bit more of a practical outfit so that while he is very into aesthetics, he still is an aesthetic man, but who is able to get things done. And so he wears clothes that allow him to basically participate in battles and to deal with the rigors of being on the open sea. I also wanted him to definitely seem more capable and more intimidating, so I made his build a little less thin, made him a little more stocky, but I did want to maintain his facial features, the smirk, the mustache, those things that make you know it's Captain Hook, especially the color scheme. In the original source material, it says that his hair was a lot like candles, like long candles. That's how thick the curls were. I didn't want to do that in the front like a lot of people do, the kind of powdered wig look, so I thought it might be interesting if he had a ponytail in the back that had a lot of really heavy curls. I also wanted his ambition to be to defeat Peter Pan, but not necessarily just because he lost his hand to Peter, mainly because he still wants the secret to living forever. The next character we're going to be addressing is Tinkerbell. In my storyline, I wanted to make her a much more practical fairy. Her name literally has the word tinker in it, and that's the type of fairy she's supposed to be. But her design in the popular Disney films and every other type of media really doesn't convey the fact that she tinkers or makes things or does anything like that for that matter. So I decided to make her design very heavily inspired by people who do that kind of work. So gave her things like gadgets and pouches and vials and goggles. Figured give them kind of outfits that are made from something that she invented, which is like leaf leather. So she found ways to use the tools around them. I wanted her to have a really expressive face. I gave her longer ears than most fairies usually have, but I wanted them to stand out and add to her character's profile and the way that you would see her. I gave her a very messy but still cute hairstyle, and in regards to the styling for the outfit, I definitely wanted her to feel whimsical still, even though it was erring on the side of practicality. I wanted Tinkerbell's character to be basically putting on a smile for Peter Pan's character. She cares about him, and she's technically one of the people tasked with looking after him because he doesn't remember who he is. He is actually the Fairy King, Oberon. She has tried to jog his memory using magic and other means, but he is convinced that he is a human boy who decided to stay young forever. Now moving on to the namesake of our story, Peter Pan. The interesting concept with my version of Peter Pan is that essentially he is in the body of a boy, but he's one of the most powerful beings in the world. In my version of the story, Wendy's purpose is essentially to help Peter realize who he truly is, which is the Fairy King. I figured this way there would essentially be an end goal in mind for Peter Pan instead of the darling children going back home and Peter just, repeatedly visiting them over the years. Maybe he still does, but at that point he would know who he is. The original source material states that his clothing is made from skeleton leaves and either the sap of trees or cobwebs. So in my design, I decided to make his costume using greenish yellow leaves and autumn colored leaves like reds and yellows, as well as cobwebs in places that would protect him. Figure maybe he has a magical spider that makes them for him. Another thing to note about Peter is that he wears a headdress, and that headdress was designed by Tiger Lily. I didn't have enough time to draw her as a full character sheet, so she will end up in the final work at the end of the video, but I figured it would be an interesting thing that she kind of showed him the Islander way of essentially collecting trophies from people you defeat. And so when he defeats pirates, in the stories they kind of imply that he kills them. It's kind of dark, but when he defeats them, he takes something from them as a trophy. It's actually quite interesting when you read the original source material. He's not a good guy. A lot of people might think he is, but he's actually very mischievous, selfish, and his goals are all kind of one-sided in nature. He just does whatever he wants. I definitely feel like this was one of my lighter retellings. It's definitely mainly been an experiment in trying to see if I can close up some of the plot holes that I felt were in a story to make it make more sense. And then I kind of explored the source material, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now we're going to get started on the final piece, which is the finished poster. I hope you guys enjoyed my take on these characters and my retelling of this story. If you guys enjoyed these and you have any suggestions for future stories you'd like me to tackle, please leave a comment down below. I would really love to hear from you. It would also help me greatly if you enjoy my work to please hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'd be notified anytime that I upload new content on the channel. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, keep creating. Until today's led as I reimagine on today's Legends Retold. I totally messed that up. God damn. Everyone, and welcome to another episode of Just Josh Draws. No, I shouldn't call it episode. On the next episode of Just Josh Draws, Goku. No,